A Guardian ship was recently shot down here. If the Fallen haven't gotten to it, there might be parts we can salvage.
Now, hello everyone, this is Light, playing Destiny again. This is going to be the second storyline, because the first is just when you are just making your character. Oh yeah, I think I should shoot, not to mention that I just brought with myself a scout rifle, which has the ability, or will have the ability, to recharge my grenades. So of course I'm not really on to, but let me just get above the guy, and it can happen that it's going to be fine. Oh shit. I'm just here trying to get back into the fight. How it just works in Destiny. Of course I don't think that I will need too much time, but yeah, because of that the guy under me just killed the 3 hive enemies. Oh, they just came back. So in this way I was on to show you that when I was got around before to the Earth Cosmodrome here, I was always starting with to get down here and kill down the yellow hives, because in that way of course I will get a lot of experience points and a lot of money in some way for them. So for that of course I intend to take them down, and as you can see, for every kill which is just yellow, I will get 25 glimmers, which is going to be fine. Of course I'm not really aware, I mean I'm sure in some way that it's just not really the story what I was on to show you, of course, but because of that in some way I do know the game well. I was thinking on that during the story missions I'm going to show a lot of things what I do know, of course what else, and in this way I was on to show you, if you are just watching a first video of Destiny of mine. I am just always trying to do the exo moves, but it's just not working. So if you are just watching it for first time, you might not be aware that I was showing a lot of things, and because of that I just realized that Destiny is still a good game. I was on to do the collect spin metals, because even for that you can buy it from the Vanguard guy in the tower. Who just shot on me? Who just shot on me? Step aside. Step out. Okay, so I guess I should go there. And oh yeah, an enemy. I am just always sucking it in that I'm just watching, and it's just I'm just realizing that the weapon is just mantling out the enemy, and for that I'm just not seeing. So because of that, this is just the second story mission. I will need to deploy my ghost at the first part, where I'm just, and then I will be able to.
The ship's avionics are completely catatonic, but I can call their last transmission.
So I can check out what the ghost just going to find out. Of course we will need to find a warp drive in this story, and for that for this ship we are just trying to check where is the warp drive. And the ghost,
they managed to restore an information hub here.
The ghost
down in the tunnels below. We should check it out.
So the ghosts were able to find the coordinate down there, where I'm just going to head now. Oh, I'm just so I'm seeing enemies. It doesn't matter, of course, I don't really need experience point, but of course because this is a shooting game, of course I'm going to shoot down a couple enemies. Yeah, I'm just not really on to stay in its grenade. What else? Oh, I was not able to shoot through the fence, I guess. Oh shit, I just stuck into this and I was not even falling down. The ship was just shooting on me. Oh yeah, it's just not the same one. Oh yeah, I did hit it before. I cannot see the shot on it, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. Where I need to head is just down there. I'm just hearing somewhere. Yeah, It's going to be spin metal leaves. It just needs to upgrade your almost everything in some way, because there is 4 different kind of basic planet material in some way, and so for that it can happen that you just have 25% of chance to need this. Let me just check it out, because for this I would need... oh shit, it just got upgraded, so in this way I'm just not able to see what I was needing, and for this I just don't really... oh, it needs relic iron, so it's not spin metal. This weapon just needs spin metal, which is just going to be great, and let's just check out the last one, which is just going to need ascendant energy. Yeah, it's not going to count over here anymore. I have to tell you that it can happen that you have the same kind of item. So for the example, you have 2 kind of thorn, but the 2 different kind is going to need different kind of material. So it can happen that this is just needs spirit bloom, and at the the other thorn at my other character just needs something else from the materials. Of course, every weapon is just telling you, but I'm just on to tell you that if you are just going to have the same weapon, then don't think that it's going to need the same material, because it won't most of the time.
A map of the entire area.
Deploy the ghost, because we just found the entire map. I mean, we found the map from the entire area.
We can jump to any planet or moon.
And yeah, it looks like that we just got the coordinates of the planets.
Hope is where we found our ship.
The only thing what we need to do so is the warp drive. Find the warp drive. Return to Docks 13, where we just brought our first ship, and secure an interplanetary warp drive for your ship. Yeah, because of that I just played it before. I do know that there will be an Archon who just owns our warp drive, and of course, so for that I'm just going there and taking it back from it. I'm going to beat it a bit. So it looks like that arrow is just going to point over that direction, which means that for the warp drive I will need to go there. When you are just starting the game, you don't really have the Sparrow yet, so for that you cannot cannot use it when you are just starting the game. But because of that, of course, in some way I just played it through. I can summon my own vehicle, which is just really a great vehicle. But right now, of course, I was not really on to use it, but at least I'm just telling you, if you are just starting the game and you cannot summon your vehicle, that's not a bug. You are going to get it later. Of course, I'm going to tell you in the storyline where you are going to get it. I guess it's just going to be around the 3 or 4 story. So in the next couple of the storyline, we are going to get it.
Scanning for the warp drive.
Even for that, I do still have it.
Bad news. It's already in phone.
Not to mention that, of course, I do have a warp drive.
I hope you're ready for this.
But because of that, it's just the story. Of course, I was thinking on that I'm going to play it on level hard, so this is the hardest difficulty what I can just put in. And of course, I'm intent to play it like this, because at least in this way, it's going to be a little bit of challenge. I'm telling you this because it's not going to be hard, I guess, in that way, that because of that I'm just on level 32. Of course, I'm 2 level ahead of them, and in this way I think it's just a great advantage for me. When you are just playing the game and starting it, I think you are just cannot be ahead of the game in some way. So most of the time you are just getting behind 1 or 2 levels, or at least how I'm just remembering it, because I was just doing it on hard, and I was always behind with at least 1 level. And of course it was hard, but I was having fun. And right now I was thinking on that, because of that a lot of people just likes Destiny, and I just like it either. Of course, I'm on to do such thing like playing it again. Not to mention that in some way it's in that way it's much better from the Call of Duty, that you can be more heroic in this game, because the enemies' projectiles are not going to be light speeded projectiles like in the Call of Duty, so you can see the projectiles and you can dodge or move away from them if you are just knowing the enemies well enough, because of course for different kind of enemies it just works like different kind with a different kind of projectiles. Of course the cover is just really working around still good against the projectiles. You don't really need to dodge them, you can hide from them. Of course I'm not really hurrying this because even for that I do need a little bit of experience for the Black Hammer. Of course I'm not really intend to shoot them down that fast, because if I'm just going to kill the Archon, the story second is just going to end here, and of course I'm not really on to rush it. Even for that I do know that most people just doesn't really have all day to watch me to walk around and just doing nothing in some way, but at some point you have to realize that if you are just doing your life in a speed run all the time, then at some point you are going to realize that you just went away next to it, and you just rushed away from your life. And so for that I'm thinking that I'm not really on to rush. Of course this is my kind of gameplay when I'm just not really rushing on the enemies. Of course this part I don't really need to rush because I'm at the place, but I'm just telling you this because of course I realize that at some point I should not walk all the time, and I'm just not doing it till from this point, because I do think that I can be a bit faster. I'm not going to be that fast that it's just going to vanish next to me, but of course I'm just trying to open your world in that way that if you are just not rushing through most of the games, you can have a different kind of experience. Okay, I'm just checking, of course, because at some point I do know that there should be a sworded guy who I'm just not really seeing right now, and so for that I'm just not really on to get close, because I do know that at some point the sworded guy is just going to be down there behind. Of course I don't really aware what to show you because there is a lot of things. In some way it's better again compared to the Call of Duty, that thing that all of your skills, equipments, in some way, not equipments, skills are just going to regenerate in some way. So I think I would be able to do such thing like this, because it's not going to deplete. In some way it's going to get depleted, but in some way it's going to get recharged. As you can see, I do have another grenade again, because it just got recharged, and it's a good thing for you, because in that way you do have unlimited skills. Of course if I'm just going to shoot it down, then it's just going to get killed, and then after I think I will need to kill and take down the sworded guy. Let me just check out one more thing, because in the upgrade they told that the Ward of Dawn is just going to do some noise which lets me... Oh, it's just... yeah, I'm just hearing it, The noise is just going to be such thing like that it's just going to get not louder, it's just going to opposite of louder. For some reason I'm just not having the words right now, that by the point you can hear that it's just going to disappear. And in this way it's better from the upgrade now, because there was a little bit of problem with the Ward of Dawn that you were never aware where it's just going to deplete, and you were just standing out in front of the enemy, and that they just started to shoot on you, and then it just really gone away, and then it just was not really good for you, because if this thing would hit me, it would just not kill me instantly, of course, but in some ways it would not be good for me. So I guess I'm just on to, I don't know, because I'm just realized that I just ended this one, and I guess it's going to be really fine for me. I hope you liked it. I'm going to kill it down with a couple more shots, and then as you can see one of them it just did hit me. I did eliminate it, but because of that I do aware of that there will be one more sorted guy, and so even for that I just got the NLS Warbrime. I will need to take out these kind of triangles. Are just always such thing like ether seeds or such thing what you can make money from in some way at the tower. So let me just check the last guy, and after this guy is just going to count back. Oh, I was not able to shoot through the invisible wall. Oh, it's just really starting, and I'm just, of course I was just not on to fight against, because in some way I was aware that it won't be able to kill me down that easy. So I guess this was
just killed an Archon, and we got a warp drive. This could cripple the Fallen. We need to go see the speaker.
Oh yeah, we need to go to see the speaker. So in this way I think I'm happy that I can replay the story, because in this way I will be able to lead you through if you are interested. I hope you liked it, because Destiny is a good game. It has a lot of good features, not to mention that I was wrong with about my items, what is going to happen with them, because in the next DLC they are planning to let you forge your own weapon, if I just heard it correctly. So in this way it's going to be really cool for us, because I hope that every items of ours will be able to upgrade it to the new level, which will let us to use it good. And if you are just really liking your items and your characters, it's going to be really great for you, because role-playing games is about these upgrades, and in this way at least you will be able to use the mostly liked weapons of yours and items of yours. Let me not say it out, I don't know what the DLC is just going to contain, but of course I can't do anything else than just believing to them that at some point the forge is just going to come in. So I guess this was the this was the first part of my story, Destiny, right now, but of course because of that I just made the first one before and made a couple more. Even for that I'm not able to do the first one. I'm not intend to clear one of my characters and start it over. Of course even for that I will be able to play it through again. So this was the second story mission from Destiny. This was Light. Thank you for watching and count on more. See you. Goodbye.